I have beef with the internet. Okay, I feel like Kpop Demon Hunters was a really fun movie, albeit, yes, I understand. It's huge, it's crazy, it's still on the top charts, and Golden is up there. But I feel like we're sleeping on the best song of that movie. And I am going to go through the track that I made inspired by that to kind of give you an idea of how to structure that type of song. But also we're going to talk about K-pop and generally what makes it great. So let's get into it. So here I have the track for Free. Free being one of my favorite songs in that movie. And honestly, I didn't know where to start with this one because I thought that what was so special with it is generally the vocals. The vocals are so well structured, well created, well sung, well performed, well everything. To carry those vocals, I wanted to kind of create a track that would be able to sort of feed that, would be able to carry such a top line. And this is sort of what I came up with. So I have finished, and this, honestly, shout out to you, Maidenless. You are the one that kind of inspired me to do this. Instead of working on something from start to somewhere in the middle, let me just finish the entire thing and let's go through it together. Here, I wanted to walk through this track. And as you can see, there are quite a few tracks. We're gonna go through them all, or maybe not necessarily all of them per se, but this is where I started. The way to get that piano playing as soft as it does also in the movie, which is something that I really wanted to, make sure you pull the velocity down, and that you can do right here. I was going through all of these because the thing is, okay, let's listen to it if the velocity is where it is normally. Like, are we making EDM? No, we're making a soft, tender song, so we need it soft and tender. And that's the great thing about these pianos, is that they're sampled, so they have multiple types of the sound within it. We have this challenger pad, which is just playing the same chords. So here, basically what I did is I just took the first chord of the coming region, so this one. Basically what I did, I duplicated the entire thing, deleted everything else, cut this out, so I only get that first chorus because I don't want anything else. So right there, and then I just went here on the track menu. You can find merge tracks. Then you make sure you pick that challenger track. You just wait until it's done. Finally, here it is. Now we have the merge challenger track here. What I did then was to cut it up, pull it back to where I wanted it, cut it up again, and right click, reverse. So now we get a chord swelling. So it's already telling us that this is where we're going, but it's building it with some tension, which is nice. However, one thing that I do like to avoid is getting the initial hit. The thing is, with audio that is reversed and that goes into its like forwards playing state, it sounds a bit wonky in my ears, and I like to pull that. So basically this is where it actually starts. So I just shift the entire track a little bit and then cut that initial part out. So there's still a bit of, like, if you think about it, it's gonna swell, and then the volume of the actual chords is gonna come out a little bit louder than the actual swell, because you want that impact. Then finally, just some sweeps and everything, and kind of like, and here, something as simple as just loading in whatever drum sample speaks to you. These are the ones I ended up deciding on. Ooh, this is actually fun. This is fun. Now, what I did here, actually, you gotta pick your spots with it. Reversing a kick into the kick. So here I have, it says Scorpio, but it was a sampler track. I just loaded in the Future Trap sample. How to do that is basically you just go into our one shots, and then you find a kick sample that you like, pull it in to here on the sampler track. You can also open the sample track using add new track and sampler down here. Once you have that, you can play it however you want, but basically I use the same one shot sample in the sampler here to play the actual kick, but also to reverse it. So now we have a reverse option here So you can hear it. And the thing is, it gives a little bit of more like oomph to the kick, but also like, I don't know, it just feels and sounds nicer in my ears. And it kind of gives a little bit like of how do I explain this? It's just like, it feels more like, oh, something's coming. But now if we play the entire drum kit, super low key, going into like the more fuller part of the track. And this is just to fill in. So the hi-hats that I have here is just to fill in a little bit when I have this disco track coming in. And really don't want to do too much, because it is quite a tender track and I don't want to do too much here. Then we have also this bass coming in. So this is just a respace I made inside of Soundtrap, because I wanted that glide to work out. I started with the blade bass and then I added a bunch of effects. You can screenshot them here if you want to. And then also here's the settings that I use for the Retro Synth 84 to kind of get this effect. And you can play around with this best you want. Also, I mean, if this song or if this video, I don't know where we're usually at, but like we're like in the tens or something. But if you can make, if you can get 50 likes on this video, I'll release this bass for free. Okay, sound good? Okay, cool. What I thought was so interesting with this track specifically, from the free track actually, was how it made me feel with the drum kit and the drums, especially here after when the chorus comes in. So let's listen to from the verse into the pre-chorus into the chorus. This is just me using the exact same elements that are actually in the track. I'm just trying to replicate it as close as possible. But what I really loved about this track, especially with the vocals being so busy, is that the entire thing is pretty sparse. If we take the kick, the reverse kick, the rim, and this rim. That syncopated drum, this rim specifically, let's listen to it without anything else. This is like, it's such a tasty little sound, because the thing is, like, when the kick comes in, you're like, you feel the weight to it. Then that rim lightens up the entire drum pattern until the snare hits to get some sort of like tension and release. So what I feel is that, okay, root, like this is where we're home. And then there is the release. But between those hits, because it comes just before, we can actually do that just for the sake of testing it out. So the kick comes in on the 1, right? But if we do, you feel like there's a suspension kind of happening in the drums. The little suspension part of that makes it feel a bit weightless and kind of like loose, and like it kind of like in the same way where the free part comes in the chorus of the song. It's really, really freeing. Like there's a big enveloping explosive feeling of like freedom and stuff, and I feel like that kind of sells it even more with this. So and then it smacks into the snare. And that's just me getting really nitty gritty about something really, really small, but it does so much in my opinion. Then I added a bunch of different synths. So if we get the entire synth pattern, I added some of some arpeggiator. But then the piano's coming in as well. So the piano and the Challenger pad are still the same. I just added the plucks. Basically, this is what I added for the chorus. And this is just to give it some extra weight. And then there's the pick guitar. which was also an element in the original track. So now that we have all of these, basically what we get in the full kind of climax of it with all of the extras, I added a glitch loop here also because I thought it sounded cool. And that's pretty much it. And yes, this is maybe not the highest scoring track on the movie, but it is definitely, according to me, the best one. It is such a good vocal. If you haven't listened to it yet, please take your time, listen to it, analyze the vocals, analyze the top line, and just listen to how every small little element, like the pads, like the soft keys, like how the interaction between the two characters' vocals really work as contrast between each other. Because I mean, that's the whole thing, right? With the entire movie, that's what it's about. I wanted to also give you a small hint on the actual golden track. Some of you out there might already know this, but there is one very specific thing about how things are played in that track that makes it chug along as it does and has that incredible driving feeling. So now that we're in the golden track, I did not rework this as much as I worked with Free because honestly, I didn't think it was as fun. But for your stereotypical EDM track that works with these types of tracks, you can hear a bunch of them that has this type of subdivision in the track, but the main thing is what is called a triplet, which means that it's playing 3 times per downbeat, basically. So we have a 4-on-floor kick, right? I mean, that's the main, right? So if you count it, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Yes, that's annoying to count, but if we listen to the bass, and we can even look at it as it's playing in the piano roll. I also added a instant sidechain on it just to make sure that the kick comes out a little bit extra. And then with that, you have to remember that you want to do that on everything that is playing something kind of arpeggiated. Because if you don't, it will sound very, very strange. Let me show you what that actually sounds like if I do this. Go to the piano roll, mark all of these notes, and use the arpeggiator and set it to, I don't know, 8th notes, maybe? It's okay, but it's not fun. Sounds like you're tumbling around on top of a horse, kind of. I mean, that's the thing. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I feel like you kind of lose the intensity of that triplet on a subdivision. So we're gonna keep it at that. And realistically, yes, there is one very, very important element missing, which is the vocals. And the vocal performances in that movie is absolutely stunning. Fantastic. I don't know how you can sing with that much oomph while also singing that high. It's really impressive. We're just gonna go through all of these elements basically pretty quickly, honestly. So we have the bass, we have the snares, we have the hi-hat playing this. And this already has a solid rhythm to it. There's nothing crazy or revolutionary about it other than that bass that is playing the triplets, because it does change the entire feeling of the track. I feel like what happens is, because we're already at 126, like if we were to pull in a regular like kind of house tops thing in 126, don't get me wrong, it's nice. But it's very, very different from triplets that is playing. It gets you kind of like, it's chugging. It's like a freight train about to bust into your ears and just like either make your day or ruin your day, but you don't know which one. Also, I think that there is something not genetic, but something closely related to heroic and kind of orchestral. What I'm seeing in front of me is like the Roman Empire for some reason. Like I feel, because galloping is what it's doing. It's like what a horse. Digida, digida, digida. That's not triplets, by the way, but nonetheless, it kind of gives that feeling that something is kind of marching. That's the word I was looking for. And then as you're playing it, this together with this, then you're kind of getting that same feeling. It's still marching on. Also, we got a new release for you. Everybody out there that's like kind of struggling with the loop bar. Now you can just like shove it away, and if you want it to be shorter, you just click and drag from here. There it is. I love this thing. I love it so much. So here I'm just gonna drag and click like that. And basically what I wanted to add is just a lot of different layers. So here we have like the main synth layers. And I didn't want to, we could expand on this however much we want. We could add like a bunch of saw waves and everything, which we probably should. And then realistically, I added just some textures and stuff like that. All of them have the sidechain on there just to make sure that the kick is really punching. This is what we get when we have that full thing. So now you can kind of get the idea. If you want to mimic that same kind of heroic marching feeling, you can do that now with the triplets there. And basically what I did, just if you don't know how to make triplets, this is by far one of the, I don't know if it's silly or if it's crazy or stupid or whatever. It's just really simple, to be honest. Like, so basically what you do is just draw in a couple of these, change this up, and then you can mark it just enough so you have enough for, like, let's say 1 bar. So you have 1 bar now of these. What you can then do is just quantize triplets and swing, and then you just choose 16 triplets. Did I mean 16s? Did I mean 8s? I meant 8s. That's... There it is. See? A lot better. Okay, that's just me being dumb. But now we have that full thing going on here. And you can do that with anything. Just add 8 triplets to your whatever it is, if it's an ARP or if it's whatever it might be. But that's how you do it. You didn't know from before. So, with all of that said, if you like this video, if you like hearing about more maybe let's say K-pop related stuff, I would love to go through even more of them. Maybe give some suggestions in the comments. I haven't been listening to a lot of K-pop in the recent times, so please give me suggestions of something that I can do a breakdown of. I can show you how to make it in the same vein that I did here. I would really love to analyze it a lot more, so that would be great for one of these videos. So please let me know if that's the case. Now, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really enjoyed making this video. It was really fun. It took a long time, though. Don't get me wrong. It took a long time analyzing all of these things. With that said, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and comment down below. Also, the majority of you that are watching and hopefully still watching, you're not subscribed. So please subscribe. It really helps me out. It really helps me make more of these videos generally, but also it notifies you whenever something new comes out. So that's great.